When I first heard about Drova, Forsaken Kin 2D pixel art RPG described as a Gothic-inspired game, I was honestly skeptical. As a big Gothic fan, I knew I had to check it out for myself to see if it could live up to the hype. So I made the purchase and began my adventure in this dark 2D RPG game, rich in Celtic-inspired lore and set in a haunting fantasy world. Developed by the German indie studio Just 2D Interactive, Drova was released on October 15, 2024 and is published by Deck 13 Interactive. My first impression was neutral. The intro wasn't bad at all and actually set the stage well. It gave enough context to get me grounded in the story, letting me immerse myself in its mysterious world. I like how, much like in Gothic, Drova begins with the player as a nobody. You start with nothing and the choices you make shape your path forward. True to the developer's word, the world of Drova is divided between two factions and every decision you make impacts the story. Shortly after the tutorial, I felt the freedom to explore and test out the interface. I must admit, I was immediately taken by the well-structured dialogues with other characters and the dark enigmatic atmosphere. This definitely struck a Gothic-like chord. As a fan of Gothic, I love the experience and progression system, unlocking new knowledge and exploring with just the right sound and visual effects. It was great to see how naturally the game balances exploration, interaction, and a compelling story. Story separation into acts or chapters is something I primarily know from Gothic, so it caught my attention here as well. Same for the inventory and interface, with a setup that felt visually comfortable and easy to navigate. What I really cherish in RPGs is a good narrative, and the example with the cat was just lovely. I thought, why not to pet the cat, and suddenly it coughed up a furball. Inside was a dexterity ring. Another Gothic touch, the collection mechanics. You can pick up almost anything from herbs to loot dropped by defeat foes, a subtle but familiar thrill for those who love scouring every corner for items, even if you are not sure what you will use them for. The world itself plunges into dark fantasy with two factors fighting for control of an ancient power, which naturally leads you to make key choices. This two faction system works as a nice note to Gothic's guilds, though I do wish there were a few more factions to add extra depth. Still, for a game of this scale, it works well. Exploration, magic, and sense of mystery makes Drova world inviting. Combat is dynamic and thankfully real-time, rather than the turn-based, which keeps the pace up and adds to the immersion. Some may not prefer the top-down isometric perspective, but if you are willing to look past that, Drova has a lot to offer and won't disappoint. The character progression system feels Gothic-inspired too. You distribute skill points, learn abilities from trainers, improve combat skills, and upgrade equipment through crafting or looting. In conclusion, is Drova a 2D Gothic? In my opinion, absolutely. There are many Gothic-like elements here which fans of the original series will appreciate. I haven't seen a better contender in recent times, other than maybe Gothic 3 The Beginnings, but that's an old story. And if you did, then do not hesitate to share it in the comments. If you are interested, give Drova a shot and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching and happy leveling, adventurer!